Ramesh, you said Trump and him sweeping America is like one of those pivotal moments, implications we will know later. I get the sense that that has kind of tempered your expectations of how well we'll be able to do. So first address, what are we going through now? Is this just a pullback in a broad uptrend? And to your mind, what does the election in the US really portend for markets like India, countries like India?
Well, it's more for the world, Prashant, because the US has moral leadership in the world. You know, it's the preeminent part in the world. I believe in American exceptionalism. What has happened for the first time in 75 years, I don't think people have understood that, is that first time a US president has unchecked power. He has the House, the Senate, the White House, the Supreme Court, the popular vote. If any Republican opposes him, he will use his base against them, so they will not be elected. The Democrats are in a state of shock. They cannot do anything because they tried impeaching, prosecuting, criminal trials. Nothing has worked against him. And now the worst fears of the America First MAGA movement can now be seen being implemented. So I'm really afraid that they might say, we'll put tariffs on there, which are economically suicidal to do. We'll stop immigration. America was built on immigration. So that impacts the world. Imagine after World War II, America rebuilt Germany and Japan. They've beaten them to the pulp, and still they use Marshall Plan to beat them. Can you imagine that happening in India, in America today? I don't think they'll help Ukraine out, or they'll help Russia out, or whatever. So I think the world has changed out there. India is lucky that we have a strong domestic economy and inward-facing economy anyway. So we'll be fine in the scheme of things to come. But I think the world perhaps may look a bit different. I think just after it looked different after the Berlin Wall fell, and we had 35 years of peace, prosperity, unparalleled global wealth. I'm not sure the next 35 years will be as easy for the world as the last 35 were.
In terms of market returns as well, maybe?
In terms of market returns, in terms of which economies do well, because what was the basic model? Singapore, Taiwan, Korea, export to the US. The US had big enough shoulders that they could carry everyone along with them, and they carried everyone along with them. But now you have a US president that doesn't want to do the basic magic that worked for the last 35 years. So I would watch Washington very closely.
No, that's very well put. Ramdeji, what is your sense? Here and now, markets, are we in a bit of a pullback in a broad uptrend? And to what Rameshji said, which is American exceptionalism. So money goes home, which is the US dollar, which is US assets. What does it mean for returns here?
So coming back to Indian markets, because I don't know so much about American history, and Ramesh has lived there and he watches them very closely. But coming here, I think the corporate closer home, in the current scenario, our multiple expansion is at a full level. So there is no scope for the multiple. So earnings must come, and earnings are actually going down. So there is a clear challenge in the earnings not coming through. And so when does it work? Like Dr. Narayan was saying, the demand, at the end of the speech he said, demand has to be looked into and it should be discussed. So I think what all macro managers they will do as we go forward.
Do you think we're at that point where we need some help, fiscal or monetary?
Of course, but I don't have any prescription or anything like that. It will come. It will come because they want that 7-8% growth. It will come. Right policy decisions will be taken at right time. So we have to have a little more patience. Maybe the earnings growth may take another 6 months. Next year could be roaring one. So, but it will come. That much I know. If the economy grows at 7-7.5%, we'll get our 12, 13, 14% earnings growth. That should come through. But right now, this is the time to have patience and wait for the markets, because the foreigners are losing patience. They are selling out. Little they are realizing that they can get out, but they cannot get in. So they are in a situation where, of course, they have luxury to go to Korea, China, wherever. But once they get out from India, they cannot get in. The price to pay for entry again, think about it. What they sold at 1.5 lakh in last 1 month. If they want to buy back 1.5 lakh, I think the index will be 30,000.
Manish, come in. Where are we now and where do we go from here? Are we in a bit of a downturn for a while, time correction? What's your sense?
Yeah, so we've all been, I think, on the same page that we'd had this bubble in mid and small caps particularly. And it's good that the market actually is cooled off and goes a bit sideways and allows earnings to catch up. And like they rightly said, eventually, you know, with the man and the dog example, you follow the man, not the dog. And the dog was going all over the place. But the man really here is the earnings. And earnings is what will determine where we go. And I've always said, you make money bottom up. So all the macro may do whatever. Like for example, Uday's here, his bank wasn't even born in 1999, and see the kind of wealth creation. You could have made all the macro stories about Kargil war and sanctions on India and banking sector in trouble and so on, and you see the wealth creation. And I think this era of where the youngsters are now building what I call the next phase of India, which will be technology should be ours, the product should be ours, the brand should be ours. Historically, we've been processors, and the new India which is getting built is taking over all of these. And that's really the next leg of wealth creation. So irrespective, I think, of what the macro does, we will find enough opportunities to make money. You lose money top down. Like he said, the world is in trouble and people come and sell. But in that rubble is when you find things that you can pick up. While we were sitting here, I must say, my son is in the audience and he was texting me on a couple of stocks which have come to interesting prices. And I was like, hold on, let me finish and we'll go back.
No, absolutely. Are we, just very quickly, one line answers, Rameshji, are we in a bit of a time correction next 6 months?
Yeah, I think we're in time
Sideways.
correction, but that's fine. I mean, you know, the market has had one of the heady runs, so if it corrects till 1 quarter, 2 quarters, I'm perfectly fine with that.
Ramdevji?
I have no idea what is, market always surprises me. So, but then I think we are fine in that
But
patient
you are
mode.
a little circumspect right now where we are, earning-wise, liquidity.
Yeah, what drives me is the earnings. If I don't see earnings coming through, my research department not saying that next year we are going to grow at 12%, 15%, I am not confident. I feel a little uncomfortable.
See, I'll give you a contra view. Of course, earnings are not there and therefore these prices, so you can't double count. But also put in context what he said, US is 66% of global market cap. And it's what, 25% of GDP. It can't be 2.5 times of market cap, which is why Warren Buffett has sold. But India is 4% of world market cap. And you know the next 20 years, this GDP will compound. We can debate whether it is 6%, 7%, 8%, 9%. Which other country in the world are you going to say that for? And our currency, again, my favorite topic, is underpriced. So whenever this happens, in the next 5 years, you're going to see a stronger currency. Indians will be allowed to also invest overseas. And this 4% market cap to the world has to go up.
Yeah.
If you're sitting with that macro, and this wall of foreign money has to inevitably end, we will end up in global indices. The amount of money to come in here is staggering. We are scared at 10 billion going out a month. I think there is a period when you'll see 10 billion a month coming in. Then what happens is what Ramdev has really been saying.
Okay, I know broadly, but I want to ask you this. One bet, could be theme, could be sector, which one should, as they say, you should fish where the fish are. Rameshji, what's your sense? Where?
Yeah, thanks, Prashant. I think the one thing I've heard, I've been to conferences and what Ashishji said, what happened to the NSE is because it was digitized. I think it's incredible the power of digitization, what changes it there. I think the number of transactions that you're handling, whether it's in payments, we're handling, I think, 150 billion payment transactions a year now in a country of 1.5 billion people, headed to 500 billion. So I think, and part of the growth of a country is always infrastructure. So look at what I call the digital public infrastructure space. I think that will be ripe for picking. Those are priced not necessarily according to the opportunity available, but according to some measure of earnings. So I think the opportunity is very great for the digital payment infrastructure companies over the next few years. So if you ask me, buy one stock and don't come back for 5-10 years, I'd buy it in that space.
Digital public infrastructure.
Yeah.
Ramdevji?
I think I'll stick to my very close
Whole
home,
love.
capital market, intermediaries, all kinds of things. Because this boom from 40 million demat accounts to 400 million demat
Ashish Bhai
accounts.
is smiling there.
Yeah. So that, I know he has to be smiling. So I think this is the biggest boom, biggest, expansion I've seen in the markets. And thanks to digital technology, the expansion is not linear. So it's a non-linear kind of opportunity. And this will give birth to some very big firms. I mean, you have to be good in picking up which one is going to be the next Goldman Sachs or Merrill Lynch or Morgan Stanley.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much, all of you, for being with us here. It's an enlightening discussion. Always is wonderful, insightful, electric. Thank you very much. Here's to the next 25. Thank you.